Hey guys, it's Becky and today I'm going to be reviewing Elysium Fire by Alastair Reynolds. This is the second book in the Prefect Dreyfus series, which unfortunately I haven't read the first book, but you don't really need to get into the story of this one. It's a sci-fi novel and it's based in the future for humans when we now live on habitable planets that are all in the glitter band. All across the glitter band, people are starting to die due to malfunctions in their neural implants. The prefects of Panoply are panicking about this because they're not sure on the reason why. They must act quickly to try and stop the deaths and not to cause widespread panic. Also, a charismatic figure is starting to sow doubts into people's minds about being part of the glitter band and not independent colonies. Our Prefect Dreyfus must deal with both of these problems throughout the story. I went into this book not really realising it was a huge sci-fi novel. I just thought it would be the same as Reynolds' other work, Revenger, which I've also read. Even though I wasn't quite ready for a long sci-fi read, it was a really good book and it swept me off my feet. Reynolds managed to pull me straight into the glitter band and I really intrigued about what was going on. And knowledge from the first book isn't particularly needed because Reynolds picks up on what you need to know and fills you in as the book goes along. So you do find out quite a lot in this second book, which you probably found out in the first book as well. I really loved the different descriptions of all the planets and worlds in the space. It was really well written and it was really good world building. There was a real depth to it and I really enjoyed that each of the planets had their own customs and what they like to do and how they acted. Because there's multiple plot lines in this book, I really enjoyed how well Reynolds managed to interweave each of these plots into one large story. And all the characters are really individualistic. They all have their own backstories and motivations. And you can really see when they're doing things that they're their own person. I think my only issue with this book is the fact that it was so long and sometimes the pacing really slowed it down. The plot twist is actually very predictable quite early on for the reader, but not for the characters in the book. So the big reveal at the end is for the characters and we're waiting to see how they react rather than waiting for the plot twist ourselves. Because there was often slow-paced scenes throughout this book, there were a few times where I put it down to read a different book in between. This is just when I was getting a bit kind of anxious that I wanted more things to happen. But other than that, it was a really good and interesting premise. Overall, I loved the book completely and I'm gladly going to buy the first book to read that and see how that goes as well. I'm also going to read more of Reynolds' work anyway because I've really liked the previous book I read of his, Revenger, and he writes really good sci-fi books. Thanks guys for watching and I hope to see you again.